All right, so let's start this broadcast with the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour, where according to reports, the fire that was reported at the Zaporizhzhya Nuclear Power Plant in Ukraine has now been secured. Remember, in the early hours of the morning earlier today, there were reports of a fire that had broken out at this nuclear power station due to Russian shelling. But that has now been brought under control. And the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has now appealed to the European allies to stop Russia from triggering a nuclear disaster.
Треба зупинити російських військових. Негайно кричить своїм політикам. Україна – це 15 атомних блоків. Якщо буде вибух, це кінець всім. Кінець Європи. Це евакуація Європи. Тільки негайні дії Європи можуть зупинити російські війська. Не допустіть загибелі Європи від катастрофи на атомній станції.
Now, both Ukraine and the United States have said that at this point of time there is no change in the radiation levels at the nuclear power plant at this point of time. And also, according to reports, contrary to the initial assessments, the fire only was reported in some of the peripheral buildings on the outskirts of the nuclear facility. Authorities said that the fire at the Zaporizhzhya nuclear power plant, which also happens to be the largest such nuclear facility in Europe, broke out due to continuous shelling by the Russian forces. The fire we now know of broke out at a training building outside of the plant's perimeter. Ukrainian authorities, including the foreign minister earlier, had urged the Russian troops to immediately desist from shelling at the nuclear plant to allow firefighters to go in and to douse the blaze. There were warnings from the United Nations Atomic Watchdog Agency, the IAEA, that there could be a very severe danger if the fire were to reach the plant's nuclear reactors. But at this point of time, the nuclear reactors are intact and there is no change in the radiation levels. Now, the American President Joe Biden spoke to the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as the White House said that it was monitoring the situation, and the U.S. energy official also said that the reactors at the Zaporizhzhya are safe and have now been shut down by robust containment structures. Meanwhile, Britain's Prime Minister Boris Johnson has called for an emergency meeting of the United Nations Security Council. Johnson said that the reckless actions of President Putin could directly threaten the safety of Europe. On Thursday, the Ukrainian authorities reported that the Russian troops had stepped up their efforts to seize the plant and had entered the town with tanks. The city on the Dnieper River accounts for almost about 20% of the country's power generation. The Zaporizhzhya plant accounts for almost about 1/4 of all power that is generated in Ukraine. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.